Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvi Navadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnana Pradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Vidhiyate. Okay, we can chant a couple of lines here. So who didn't get a chance? Rukmini, can you unmute yourself? And everybody else can repeat. So we will start from Panchakoshaha K. Panchakoshaha K. Panchakoshaha K.
Panchakoshaha ke
Annamaya
Annamaya
Pranamaya
Pranamaya
Manomaya
Manomaya
Vijnanamaya.
Vijnanamaya.
Everybody else can repeat also. Anandamaya
Anandamaya
Cheti
Cheti
Annamaya Kaha
Annamaya kaha
Annarasenaiva
Annarasena iva
Bhutva
Bhutva
Annarasenaiva
Annarasena iva
Vriddhim Prapya
Vriddhim prapya
Anna Rupa Prithivyam
Anna Rupa Prithivyam
Yad Viliyate
Yad Vidiyate
Tadannamaya Koshaha
Tada Annamaya Koshaha
Stula Shariram.
Stula Shariram.
Okay. Yeah, hey, we can unmute a couple of others. So we saw last week, we just came to this topic of Panchakoshaha. Earlier, Acharyaji had said, Atmakaha Panchakosha Titaha. That which is other than Panchakosha. And prior to that, we saw Avasthatraya Sakshi. And prior to that, we saw the Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharirat Yatirikta. So, slowly completing the topic of Atma. So, the Panchakoshas are mentioned. Very interesting. Panchakoshas are mentioned, and we understand Panchakoshas, and then the Shastram says, oh, you understand Panchakosha? Okay. Atma is not Panchakosha. You know, it's like saying, you teach somebody a lot of mathematics for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. How do you like it? Oh, I love this subject. What subject are you teaching? Oh, this is not physics. What? What do you mean? I wanted to study physics. Yeah. So this is not physics. But what happened to physics? That is the question. So that is the approach the Shastram takes. Okay. So we will understand why. We have heard about it, and we'll continue to understand it. So Panchakosha ke, they've been listed as Annamaya Ityadi. We saw the meaning of Kosha. Koshavat Achadakatvat Kosha. Because there is something that seems to cover my understanding of Atma, it is called Kosha. That is the literal translation of that. Koshavat Achadakatvat Kosha. I mean, nothing should cover my understanding. Technically, why something covers? Well, apparently it does. Why should the whole world think that the sun is revolving around this earth? Well, that's the power. That's the power of all this. That is why we study Vedanta. So because that possibility is there, that my knowledge can be covered, what I see, they say, visivig, what you see is what you get, they say. Yeah, what you see is what you get. But what you really want to get, you may have to go beyond what you see. Correct? So that is what is being explored here. And because I make a mistake on each of these koshas, it's called a kosha. Last time there was a good question. If I understand the reality, then is there a kosha? Then yeah, if reality is understood, then there is nothing covering my understanding. Therefore, there is only Annamaya, but there is no Annamaya kosha. Okay? So only Annamaya kosha is not there. And we also saw the meaning of this word Maya, very often used in our Indian languages. And so we saw two meanings. One meaning is prachurye, in the sense of abundance, in the sense of saturation. That is not the meaning here. The meaning here is vikare, in the sense of modification. Something has modified itself to be something else. That which has come to be is called by the suffix maya. So next, the author herself is asking, Annamaya kaha? To which the answer is given, Annarase naiva bhutva ityadi. So before I do that, I think I should give you the meaning of this Panchakosha ke. So for those who are interested, Panchakosha ke, what are the fivefold modifications, or what are the 5 modifications called sheaths? I'm going to put the sheath in double quotation mark. Sheath. What are the 5 modifications called sheaths? And the answer is food modification, again within bracket sheath, or you can put sheath at the end. Food modification, comma, vital air modification. Within brackets, you can say physiological functions. Comma, mind modification. You can say within brackets mental states, comma, intellect modification. And happiness modification. Within brackets are the 5 sheets. Okay. Annamaya kaha. So what is this Annamaya? So often it's just better to stick with the Sanskrit word and not try to translate it, because the translation can be misunderstood, whereas Annamaya hard to misunderstand. It is hard to misunderstand Annamaya because we don't use the word Annamaya in our daily life. Nobody said, how is your Annamaya today? No? Nobody asked that question. So the confusion is not there. The possibility of mistaking Annamaya to something else is not there. Because I don't know what Annamaya is. Now and we listen to it for the first time and that meaning sticks. So that's good. So the word Annam. Adyate iti Annam. That is the definition in Sanskrit. Adyate iti Annam. That which is eaten is food. That which is eaten is food. Often the word Annam, at least in the southern Indian languages, has come to mean, rice, Annam. Occasionally they will say food, but Annam can mean rice also. I suppose that's because it's the foundational food in the southern part of India. And so here the author says, Anna rase naiva bhutva. So talking about this body, primarily here, having been born from the rasa, from the essence of food. That is the literal meaning. So what is this rasa? Rasa means the essence. When we take food, the body has an amazing capacity to absorb what it needs and reject what it doesn't need. And how amazing it is, you can imagine. And we don't have to decide how all these things happen. We don't have to know how all this happens. Just happens. And one fine day, the doctor says, oh, you have vitamin D deficiency. And so please take this ABCD. And we will see for a couple of months. And if it doesn't work out, we have an alternative option. These alternatives are always there. You just take these tablets, vitamin D tablets. So thanks to this vitamin tablets, we don't have to worry about, did I eat carrot, spinach, did I eat all these things? All that we don't worry about. But ideally we should have a balanced diet. So that is called rasa. Rasa here. That which sustains the body. So the parents, the fathers, the food that the father consumes becomes the seed, and the food the mother consumes becomes the seed, ovaries, eggs, And then the fetus is formed, Annarasenaiva Bhutva, right? Created by the Annarasa. And then after the fetus is born, Annarasenaiva Vridhim Prapya. Growing. The fetus has to grow. Keep on growing. All from the food of the mother now, not the father. Father is not involved. Only mother. Through the umbilical cord, the fetus grows. Then also umbilical cord gets cut after birth, and still again Annarasenaiva Vridhim Prapya. The baby grows. Every animal grows. The cow also. Calf is there. Calf grows. The calves and the baby's food then also comes from the mother for some time. They say the calf has to double its weight every month. That's the benchmark for the cow. Every month it has to double its weight. Doesn't happen for human beings. Human beings, I suppose, the growth is obviously fast initially, and later on it tapers down. So Annarasenaiva Vridhim Prapya. And then Annarupa Prithivyam Yad Viliyate. This Prithvi here is called as Annarupam. Prithvi, which is in the form of food. That is the way the Shastram calls it. Prithvi is considered Annam. Why is that? That is because only the earth has the ability to manufacture food. Only the earth has the ability to manufacture food. Nobody else in this world, no being can manufacture food. Yeah, okay, in the body, some processes happen and the body is able to create some, make up for some lost nutrition for some time. All that is there. But food for the purpose of consumption is only manufactured by earth, by plants specifically on earth. Correct? Therefore, we make a very bold statement that all food is vegetarian. All food, when you say food, it means vegetarian. There is no other food. Now, you can say, oh, Jayakumar ji, and I'm different. Morning I have chicken, afternoon I have beef. In the night, there's so many options are there, and I go with one of those options. So no, vegetarian, I don't understand vegetarian. So to that person we say, yeah, food is vegetarian. You are welcome to have a non-vegetarian meal. A meal can be non-vegetarian. But even that animal which you are consuming depends on Prithvi, Annarupa Prithvi, correct? Depends on Annarupa Prithvi. Where will the deer go? Where will the cow go? Comes from Prithvi only. And okay, some animals depend on other animals. The lion cannot eat grass. That's how it is made. So we don't have a problem with that. But the human being has choice. So the choice has to be used properly. Has to ask the question. The lion cannot ask the question, should I eat the deer today, or I need some vitamin C and let me eat some oranges. So, that thing it doesn't have. That ability it doesn't have because it doesn't need, and it leads its life properly. It is a human being that needs to think about all this. Okay. So all that food, this Anna Maya, the author is saying, Anna Rupa Prithivyam Yat Viliyate, that which goes back into the earth which is already in the form of food. Part of the definition, look at that. Look at how foundational all this. just sets a baseline for us. A baseline for life. How should my life be led? That is how it's Vedanta just resets everything. Okay. Then what? So this Annamaya is called Sthula Shariram. Here the author says, bold statement, Sthula Shariram, he says at the end. So he says, by the way, this Sthula Shariram is the Annamaya. And we can appreciate it. The food modification, the product of food is this physical body, Sthula Sharira. Now we have a couple of questions to ask, 2-3 questions. Why is this Annamaya called a kosha? First question. Not a difficult question. Hey, Annamaya is the Sthula Shariram, and I make a mistake here on this body. I consider this body, or I consider myself to be as good as the body. Right? So we have seen that. And because I make that mistake, this Annamaya becomes a kosha for me. Annamaya kosha. Okay. And also, Annamaya, why it is said? Why they should say Atma is not Annamaya? See, suppose somebody wants to know what is a cow. See, in Coimbatore, there can be a problem where I live because there are cows that are grazing, wandering around. There are dogs wandering around. And there are even horses wandering around. Really, I mean it. You go outside occasionally in the street corner, there are 3 horses. It's absolutely amazing. Big, grown horses. And the horse has a little baby also. Arey baapre, it's so great to watch this. Only in India you can see all this. So, some child is there. The child is watching all this, but he doesn't know what a cow is. And the child points to the horse and says, Mom, look, cow. 2 cows. And the mom says, Mom, what does the mom has to say? Mom has to say, no, that is not cow. Correct? No, that is not cow. Why the mom has to say that? Because a mistake has been made. When a mistake is made, you have to negate the mistake. But otherwise, if somebody asks, what is reindeer? Somebody comes and says, hey, Jayakumar, what is reindeer? Then I don't have to say, oh, you know cow? Reindeer is not cow. Reindeer is not horse. Reindeer is not hen. Reindeer is not mosquito. So big list if I give, what will it be? And he will tell me, yeah, I know all that. You please tell me what is reindeer. So I don't have to negate because that person has not made a mistake. Just wants to know. I don't remember seeing a reindeer. How does a reindeer look? That's all simple question. So here, because a mistake is made, the Annamaya is brought in and it has to be pointed out that you are not Annamaya. Panchakosha Titaha. You are not. You understand Annamaya first, then you are not anything that is Annamaya. If you can identify Annamaya, then you have identified what Atma is not. That is the idea here. Okay. Now, so why not just say you are not Sthula Shariram? I understand Sthula Shariram very well. Why you bring in Annamaya here? So here a little Viveka is brought in. Little a discriminative inquiry. Okay. So we have all this food, vegetables we have, and nuts, oils, so many things we have in a given day. And somebody says, no, I'm not going to take this. This is too oily. And so they have food. When you go to the market and weigh the food, you buy 1 kilogram of grapes, you buy a kilogram or 2 of apples, etc. You buy all these carrots and other vegetables. You buy 5 bunches of spinach for so many rupees. All that we do. And you get home and you cook that day. And you cook, you cook a few grams of 100 grams of carrots and this many grams of spinach. You put some cashews, you put this, and you cooked everything. And nice 1-2 kilograms of food is there for everybody to consume. And then food is consumed. And then what happens? And then, I used to have a friend in America. This is all America only. After every meal, he used to weigh himself. He used to weigh himself. I used to wonder, what are you doing? He used to work out and all that, I think. So he used to, touch the shirt like this and pull it down and look at himself. And he used to weigh, feel good, I suppose, feeling good. Okay, I'm not, this is okay, I can manage, I suppose. So weigh. So before food, it was 1 kilo of carrots and it was 100 grams of cashew nuts. Now what happened? It is my weight.
Yeah.
Previously, it is its weight. Now it is my weight. What happened? Because it is in my body now, it has become unrecognizable. I can't search for cashew nuts in my body. I can't say, I weigh too much, so let me remove a couple of cashew nuts. I can't do all that. It has become Annamaya. It has become part of my body. And so that weight has become my weight. So just to bring out that Viveka, this Annamaya is brought in. And we asked the question, when did food become I? So it is just still Sthula only. Outside also the cashew nut is Sthula. Inside my body also cashew nut is Sthula only. So that recognition is required. Anything else happens, a lot of things are happening and we can at best attribute that to Ishvara, Bhagavan. Something is happening, I don't know. And we let it be. So Annamaya. So Annamaya is, let's go back to the definition. Let me translate that. Question is, what is food modification? Annamaya kaha. What is food modification? Within brackets, here the word kosha is not mentioned in the question. You can write within brackets kosha. Because in the answer there is the word kosha. Answer is Annarasenaiva Bhutva. So the full translation will look like this. The gross body, comma, the gross body, comma, having come into existence, by the essence of food, having come into existence by the essence of food, comma, having gained growth from the essence of food alone, having gained growth from the essence of food alone, within brackets, and also which resolves in the earth that is in the form of food, which resolves in the earth that is in the form of food, comma, is the food modification sheath, is the food modification sheath. Put the sheath in quotes. Okay. So who wants to? Ashutosh, you want to repeat the next one?
Sure. Etat kosh panch kamaha.
Yeah, so let me just repeat after me. We're going to do pranamaya kaha, which comes after annamaya kaha. I think it is 37, 38, 39, I think it is 139. From there.
Okay.
Pranamaya kaha.
Pranamaya kaha.
Pranadhyaha.
Pranadhyaha.
Panchavayavaha.
Panchavayavaha.
Vagadindriya panchakam.
Vagandriyam panchakam. Bhagadi.
Indriya panchakam.
Indriyam panchakam.
Indriya panchakam.
Indriya panchakam.
Pranamayaha.
Pranamayaha.
Koshaha.
Koshaha.
Okay, good. So next question, obviously, pranamaya kaha. This prana, the word prana keeps occurring several times in our Shastram. And even in general language also, prana, we use the word prana. So, if the word prana is used just by itself, prana, it refers to all the physiological functions, correct? Prana, including respiration and circulation, all these things, everything that, they say the body is kicking and alive. Body is kicking, something they say. And I was a bit confused when I heard this word, because previously I had heard kicking a bucket, and suddenly they say kicking and alive also. So I was not happy with that expression. Why use the word kicking when it is already reserved for the other phrase? And I thought there could be a better way of saying it. But in America, they say that. Alive and kicking. Yeah, I remember now. Alive and kicking. They say that. So what makes the body alive? Prana. That is the general physiological functions. Must be there. Must be there. But when the word prana is used with other words, like here, pranadhyaha is said, pranadhyaha. The prana adi, prana, etc., which means prana and others, the author is saying. So there the word prana means respiration only. Respiration, just pure respiration. The breath, the system of breath, the respiratory system, if you want to call it. And prana is mentioned because it is the most important of all the physiological functions. Only if prana is there, all other functions happen. And so often it is said pranadi. And here, we'll talk about pranadhyaha in a minute. The author also uses panchavayavaha. Panchavayavaha. And Vayu, it's a technical name. It doesn't necessarily mean air. Sometimes Vayu means just air. This air that we commonly know of is also Vayu, no doubt. But here Panchavayavaha doesn't refer to this air per se as we know it, and the sthula air. It again refers to the same Pancha Pranaha. And it's a model. It's a model. It's a model which there may be many physiological systems, right, in the body. Today's medicine will talk about many systems and not 5 systems, many systems. So all the systems are included in this Pancha Pranaha, Pancha Vayavaha. So you take a system like the endocrine system, a very sophisticated system, right? Very, you got the pituitary gland somewhere here under the brain or something, they say, and then there is the thyroid gland. Pituitary gland is just, it seems so small. They say the size of a peanut, small one peanut, correct? So that little gland produces hormones which actually, they say, even activates the functioning of the other glands also. And then it has its own functions. And then there is thyroid and so on and so forth. Pancreas. So many things are there. So you have to add all these functions into this Panchavayavaha. Now, so I said model. Panchaprana, Panchavayavaha is a model. So other models are there also. In our Indian system of medicine, other models are there. Ayurveda has a model. Then there is this Marma model. Marma are centers. Centers which if somebody touches, one can reel in pain, a lot of pain. So they use it even in Kerala, for example. The other few months ago, somebody invited me to Kerala, and we went to some places, and we went to a place where they are showing all this classical Kerala traditions. Like, of course, you have Kathakali, and they showed all the way they dress up. Entire 2 hours, 3 hours, we were watching him dressing up. And it takes such a long time to dress up just this one person. And you need 2 other people to dress him up. And they put all these pieces of paper on the side. So beautiful to watch. That is one thing we saw. The other thing we saw was this Kalaripayattu. And they all came and they got their swords and this and that. And one had the sword, the other did not have a sword. And so they were showing us all that. So then finally they asked for some volunteers. Anybody who wants to come and do this. And so I raised my hand also. And so I went to the stage. And with some prayer, I went there. And then, so then they say, they said, do something like this. I will hit you like this. And then you do like this and press like this. And he showed me where to press. And if you press there, suddenly I felt pain. So that Marma center, the Marma, those Marmas they know. So all the points in the body, vulnerable points in the body, I suppose you can say. And they leverage that. That Kalaripayattu, people who know that, they leverage it. And then of course for curing also it is leveraged, right? So all this acupuncture, this acupressure, so all these things come from this Marma Vidya. Marma Chikitsa comes from Marma Vidya. Okay. So still practiced in many parts of the country and definitely in Kerala. So let's talk about Pranadhyaha, Panchavayavaha, Panchapranaha. So Pranadhyaha refers to Panchapranaha, five vital systems, if you want to call it. And Prana refers to respiration. Apana refers to the excretory systems, evacuation. So the kidney, etc., all these things are part of this Apana. And I suppose, I wonder, perhaps we can put the sweat glands and things like that also under Apana, because sweat glands are also doing a function of rejecting mala, rejecting toxins, right? So we can add those systems here in Apana, and perhaps the doctors can tell us more about what should be included in Apana. Then we have Vyana. Vyana is circulatory system. So clearly they have recognized this particular system very well, specifically mentioned. So all the blood flow and arteries and veins and everything, heart, everything should be included under the Vyana. Then another word, Samana. Samana. That which makes everything same. The word same comes from Sama, remember. I mentioned it earlier. Sama, same. Which means what? Guess, we have to take a guess. That which digests everything. Digestive system. Whatever I eat, it's all reduced to whatever the body needs, into a few essential elements. So that system is called Samana. Samana. So here, digestive system means we must add other things also. So when you think of, some of you may not have had breakfast today, like me, and I think of what is it for breakfast today, and suddenly the mouth starts salivating. So we should add that into this, because it's all part and parcel of the digestive system. And add your pancreas. Pancreas creates all these juices, digestive juices. Pancreas creates insulin. All these things must be added into this Samana system. And then the last system is called Udana. Udana. Udana, very interesting the way they have identified all this. Udana is the system. It's like you go to a movie theater, or you go to some places, you'll have emergency exit. Emergency exit. An emergency exit should not be used on a daily basis, correct? It is meant only during times of emergency, and you push and you break any glass that is there, you do it, and then there is a fire extinguisher. All emergency systems, right? You don't simply go there, pull the fire extinguisher and do like this. You get beaten up for that. So these things have to be used only under emergency conditions. So body also, what happens if there is an emergency? Some foreign particle has gone inside, immediately the body's Udana system kicks in and the vomiting starts. Vomiting starts. Vomiting is a process, important process in the body. But in a normal body, it should not occur. Somebody says, I keep vomiting. Every night before going to sleep, I feel like vomiting. I vomit and go to sleep. So that fellow keeps on doing it. And somebody should say, hey, this is not correct. You must go see a doctor. Just because it happens regularly doesn't mean it's normal. So vomiting and I suppose sneezing and things like that can be included here. Foreign particle gone inside, then the body tries to eject it. Okay. So sneezing and foreign particle goes into the eyes. The eyes starts producing tears. And I suppose sadness, when the eyes starts tearing, when we are sad, I suppose you can include it as part of Udana. I've heard Swami Paramarthanandaji say that. And because it's not normal to cry. I mean, in a normal day, we don't cry. I don't say it's not normal to cry. On a normal day, we will not cry. And so the tear glands need not be activated on a routine basis. So we can put it as part of the Udana. And the tears are generated even when we are happy. Elation also creates tears. And they say the composition of these tears are not the same. The tears produced when we are sad versus tears produced when we are happy, they say its composition is not the same. Very fascinating. I like to see some data on that. Here is what this tear contains. Here is what that it contains. Very, very, very fascinating. Okay, so Udana, all this is Udana. Now there is a classical definition of Udana also. It's called Udgirana Karaha. Udgirana Karaha. The countdown clock. Countdown clock. So in our Shastra, there is this idea that hey, we live, there are certain number of breaths, and that's when that number of breaths are over, the jiva walks away. That is how traditionally it is said. So that countdown clock, which keeps counting down, is also called Udanaha. But here it doesn't refer to that. It refers to the so-called reverse processes. Processes which suddenly reverse in the body to protect the body. Okay. So I'm reminded of, not directly related to our topic. I'm reminded long ago I read this thing. It seems the parts of the body, which part is important? This argument happened, it seems. The body parts started fighting with each other. And everybody said, I'm doing this. The hand says, hey, without hand, can you try brushing your teeth without your hand? Your day starts with brushing the teeth. Go ahead. How are you going to open the water? Open the faucet. Try it. Then the leg came up and said, wait. You said you're talking about opening the faucet. Hey, how are you going to go to the restroom? Can you please tell me that? Without legs, without me, can you even walk? Can you even get out of this bed? And like this, they were arguing. And the heart came up and said, hey, come on, guys. You forgot me completely. What is this? Heart, I am the most important part. Like this, they were arguing. And all parts were arguing. And even the rectum said, hey, guys, I am also important. Don't forget me, okay? And everybody started laughing at him. I said, oh, you, what is this? Dirty job you do. So this rectum got angry, it seems. And so decided to keep quiet. Decided I am going to just lock myself in my room and won't talk to any of you. So then after a day, then the stomach started bloating. And after a couple of days, the head started hurting and the legs were all wobbling like this and couldn't stand, couldn't sit properly, nothing. And finally, all of them came, did a namaskara. Even the heart came and said, oh, rectum, you are an important part of the body also. We apologize like that. Long ago, I read a story. So after that, they all became humble. And they said, we are so happy that we are all functioning. And let's not put down anybody. Everybody is equal. So a modern addition to this is, that's why they said, don't disrespect them. Don't disrespect them. Okay. So that is the idea here. So why pranamaya? Why do we say mayaha? Of course, this prana provides the energy for the body to function. Body parts are all there, the hands are there, the nervous system is there, the skeletal system is there. And how do they function? Prana. Pranamaya provides that energy to the body, including even the thought process. So that's why sometimes they say you study in the morning. In our culture, at least, it is very prevalent. Study in the morning. Because the mind is active in the morning for some reason. So very amazing. And these days, this whole clock is reversed. People keep studying until 1 o'clock in the morning and get up just 5-10 minutes before going to school and our office, and then just rush out. So energy, prana, maya, modification. the modification of the essential elements to produce this system called pranamaya. Because it's a vikara, it's called maya. Different life functions, every function is different. So there is modification there. There is modification, there is differentiation also, right? Because the same food is appearing as different parts of the body and appearing as the gland and producing hormones, appearing as the respiration and lungs and things like that. So very, very fascinating. So vikaraha is involved, therefore mayaha. And here the author has said Vagendriya Panchakam, Vagadindriya Panchakam. So added this Karmendriya. Long ago we covered the topic of Karmendriya. Jnanendriyas are these organs of perception. They are called Jnanendriyani. And the organs of action, hands, legs, etc., which produce action and push out data into the world, versus the sense organs which gather data from the world. So those organs of actions are included here. Vak. Vak is the organ of speech. And Vagendriyani, Vagendriya Panchakam. So together with these organs of action, the Pranadhyaha, the Panchavayavaha, the five physiological functions, five pranas I should say, I shouldn't say five physiological functions, all physiological functions which are modeled as five pranas, that is the right way to say it, is called pranamaya. And why is it called kosha? Same thing. I make a mistake. The body, there is hunger. I say I am hungry. The body is not well. The body is sick. I take it. I say I am sick. And I become sad also because of that. Because there is an association. I have become sick. Body has become sick means then we can objectively deal with it. Whatever is to be done to take care of the body, we will take care of it. We will do it. But because a mistake is made on this pranamaya, it is called pranamaya kosha. Okay. So let me translate this. Pranamaya kaha. What is pranamaya? Yeah. So pranamaya is the modification of the prana. Modification of the prana is a kosha. That is a modification of air, modification of, or we can say vital air, modification of vital air, comma, is the five physiological functions beginning with respiration, is the five physiological functions beginning with respiration. Comma, and the five organs of actions and the five organs of action beginning with speech, and the five organs of action beginning with speech. Okay, so we will chant this next one, Manomaya. So, who would like to chant? Prasad? Go and unmute yourself. Manomaya kaha.
Manomaya kaha.
Manascha
Manascha
Jnanendriya
Jnanendriya
Panchakam
Panchakam
Militva
Militva
Yo Bhavati
Yo Bhavati
Saha
Taha
Manomaya Koshaha.
Manomaya Koshaha.
Yeah. So what is Manomaya? Manascha, the mind and the sense organs. That is the answer here given. Manaha cha jnanendriya panchakam. So now he is bringing in the sense organs here into this Manomaya Kosha. So mind is there and sense organs brought together. Mind is brought here because without the mind, the sense organs cannot function. So mind is also brought along with sense organs. And it is a maya because it is a vikara, because it is a modification. The so-called mind and the sense organs are modifications of some fundamental elements. And also, as the sense organs operate, they are all changing. Anything operates means anything has to change. There has to be change perceived in the system. Vikara, vikaravat means that which undergoes change. Change not in the sense of, organ changing to become something else. No. Operation itself means change. Mind, what is mind? Mind is, later on he will define mind. Sankalpa vikalpatmakam manaha. Mind means what? That which has desires, that which is the seat of desires and doubts. So the desiring faculty and the doubting faculty is called as mind in this exposition. So change. What is the desiring? And emotions. Add emotions to that also. So every emotion is a particular frame of mind, state of mind, correct? So constantly changing. So suppose I show you something, and then your vritti has changed in your mind. Something has changed. You're seeing a new object, and so change. So vritti itself means recognizing an object requires the mind to change. Constantly changing. Thank God our mind is constantly changing. So we can see various things, we can hear various sounds, and we can appreciate things. If the mind is calm and steady, they said the mind has to be still. Yeah. Still mind has a beauty, but in the class, we can't pray for a still mind. We have to pray for an alert mind. Alert mind. That is important. Alertness and stillness are different. So we want alertness. So something is said, we grasp it like that. Somebody throws a ball at you, now we can see, grasp the ball. Like that ability we are looking for. And that happens because of the vikaravat, ability to change as needed. Okay. Then why it is called kosha? That also by now we know why it's called kosha. Because mind is a place where I make a mistake. Mind is a place where I make a mistake. Lot of emotions are happening in my mind. And sadness is an emotion. Disappointment is an emotion. Frustration is an emotion. And I impute all of that to myself. My essence, Atma, I impute all those things. I say, I am sad. I say, I am finished. I am finished. Look at that. How sad that statement is. I am finished. I lost all my money. I'm finished. So it's one thing to say, I lost the money I possessed. I lost all my money and I don't know what to do. I need to do something about this. I think I have to take some drastic steps and etc., etc., etc. So that's perfect. That's perfect. But I am finished means it's a conclusion. I am finished. Remember this very clearly. I am finished is a conclusion. And only I am responsible for making the conclusion. Money is not responsible for making the conclusion. Please remember that. Many people say, money is the cause of all problems in this world. In Vedanta, we are very clear. Money is not the cause of problems in this world. And so, money is Lakshmi. How can we say? Pointing to Lakshmi and say, Lakshmi, you are the problem. She will get angry, she will walk away. Don't say Lakshmi is the cause of problem. And so, everybody is a blessing. How I use it, how I appreciate things in life is what matters. Okay, I'll stop with that.